So one of the interesting or difficult things that we constantly confronting with is, the atmosphere and the mood that we're in the home, because basically very often we rely on the other to make us feel good, right? Most of the time, even when we say I love you, is because you feel love, because you love yourself. So you say I love you when you feel good. But why don't say I love you when you don't feel good, right? So meaning is because you only say I love you when you feel that you love yourself and you feel good. So it's really all about you. Very few people say I love you when the other person does something wrong, right? It will indeed sounds weird, but we should be able to say I love you at least when nothing's happening. You reflect on everything that the other person does. Actually, it's a difference. When a person does something good for you, you feel good. That person makes you feel good, so you want to say, "Oh, I love you," but that's not love, right? Really, love. When I say I love you, it means I love who you are. I see what type of person you are. It shouldn't be connected to what that person does for you, right? Because if that person does something for you and you feel good, I would say, "Oh, I love you." No, you love yourself. So really, the real I love you should come at times when that person, the other person, doesn't do anything for you. However, we still say it when the person does it, because usually it's only when the person does it, but in order to, it's a kind of say, I thank you. You make me feel good. I see you love me. And therefore, we use that as an opportunity to at least say I love you when we feel good. I hope you follow me. So, the reason I'm speaking about that is because, right, we're trying to have a positive atmosphere in the home. The only way to have a positive atmosphere in the home, right, and that is positivity, which is very hard to fight in this world where, if just you have the news, right, you watch the news, you become negative already because everything is complaints. Most of our discussions are complaints, say, oh, this happened. Very rarely we focus on the positive, because what hurts us the most, the emotional things that bothers us, that's the thing that's dominant, and therefore we bring it out. So most people are not very positive by nature. So what we do, we have to bring positivity in the marriage. We have to bring goodness, joy. How do you bring goodness, joy in the marriage? Because usually as soon as they come home, the husband and the wife, they're gonna all complain about things that happen during the day, or they're gonna see something that the other ones did or didn't do, or they're gonna or they just don't feel good about themselves, and therefore there's nothing very positive to bring to the table, and very easy, as soon as there's someone who says the wrong word, that's it. If you're in a positive mood already, it's much easier. You're in a positive mood, someone did something not so good, or did a mistake, or didn't do something that you like. Okay, who cares? I'm in a good mood. Let's focus on the positive. It's so important for a couple to see the half full cup, the half full cup, as opposed to the half empty cup. Because you have to ask yourself every day, where is the positivity, where is the goodness in the marriage going to come from? And you shouldn't certainly expect the goodness and the positivity and the joy to come from the other. Why should it come from the other? It should come from you. The truth is that everything depends on how happy you are as a human being. Are you happy, right? Beyond everything that's happened. If I'm a happy person, if I'm a joyful person, if I love myself, if I'm good, then I'm good. Anything that's gonna happen, okay, I can decide how I want to tackle it. But you're positive already, so you come home, right? And this is a great thing to do by the mezuzah. Just before you come home, you say, "Am I positive? Am I joyful? right? Kiss the mezuzah means there is God in there, right? God gives you a wife. God gave you a home. God gave you children. So you kiss the mezuzah and say, okay, let's go in there with love, with goodness, with realizing what I have. True joy comes from realizing that nobody can take anything that belongs to me. Meaning you're happy with what you have. You realize that no one can have what I have, and I cannot have anything that other people have because everything is designed for you. So you realize I come home and God gave me my home. God gave you my soulmate. God gave me my kids. God gave me my money. God gave me... Okay, there's some days where you get more money, less money, a job, no job, more, a bit healthy, more or less, right? So but you're alive, and you're married. Just the fact that you're alive and you're married, it should be enough. I'm alive and I'm healthy and I'm married. If you have kids, it's like bonus, super bonus. Some people can't have kids. So, and it doesn't matter if your spouse is nice or not. Some people don't have spouse, and they would rather have a spouse and fight than have no spouse at all. Or you think, no, yeah, because you wanted to choose. Some people might say, no, I'd rather have no fight and no spouse. But the truth is, that's because you just want to chill. You just don't want to deal with problems, with difficulties. Well, what do you think you're in this world for? This world for work, because true love and true joy, true satisfaction come from work. And your marriage is only going to be happy and good when you realize that there's work to be done and you would have to work through the challenges. That's what the true happiness in your couple is going to do. It's going to come when you see that you have worked where you were so different and you have managed to mix together and create a beautiful, unit. But that comes with a lot of work. So if you just don't want to work, then marriage is not going to work. And don't expect for joy, and don't expect God to give you what you need. Or He might actually give you everything that you need, but don't expect anything for the world to come, because He gave you everything here. So we need to have tremendous gratitude and appreciation for what we have. You have to think, just the fact that I'm married, already I should be the happiest person in the world. Even if that person is annoying, even if that person is complaining, even if that person is pushing my buttons, even if that person is not doing anything that I like. Because that person is designed especially for you. All those things that bothers you, they're here for you to work on, work with your ego. See, okay, why are what are these things? Why is she or what is he doing these things that bothers me? There's a special God, you're with your spouse or everything, and there's this problem, and then all of a sudden you meet another person, and the other person is exactly like you, another woman or another man. And you say, wow, this is like, this person thinks like I think, she likes that same sport, and I like that same thing. This is the Satan giving you exactly the test of giving you exactly what you think you should have, but really, it's you know why you love that you want that person, because that person is like yourself. That person is you, and therefore it's not that you want that person more. It's because you love yourself, so you love that person too. But that's not true love. That's selfish love. That's you. That's what you love about yourself. That's fine. It's love yourself, but that's not a spouse. A spouse is everything that you're not. A spouse is not going to like the same thing that you like. The spouse is not. So there's always a few things that are in common. And you have to look how to mix. You need to look hard and search, make the work on how do we, what it means to be smart? Smart, says Rabban Shetrit, is the ability to adapt. Are you a smart person? If you know how to adapt to your wife, and you know how to adapt to your husband, then you're intelligent. Then you're smart. If you can't adapt, then it's all about you. You're selfish and you're stupid, because you're not using your brain to learn how to be one. You're just a piece of meat, a piece of body that wants pleasure. We want pleasure, But the problem is that if you just want the physical pleasure, you just want to feel comfortable and good, then you just want this world. You don't want the spiritual world. You want real joy, you want passion, you want love, you want spirituality. All that takes a lot of work. Years of work. So to go back to the foundation, you have to learn to be happy before you can bring positivity in your home. You're not gonna be, your spouse is not gonna, you can't expect your spouse to be make you happy. You have to be happy as yourself, as an individual. Unfortunately, most people who get, before they're not happy before they get married. We need to be happy before we get married, because otherwise you go in a marriage unhappy, and the main energy that you're gonna bring is unhappiness. So the other person also most of the time hasn't worked so much on the happiness, and therefore now you have two unhappy people who try to be together, but they're both unhappy and they bring unhappy things. If you're really happy, let's be honest with ourselves. If you're really happy, the little things, the little problem, oh, she didn't clean the house, oh, he didn't buy me this ring, oh, he didn't do this, she didn't do that, it's not going to be a big thing, right? We have to really realize that the more happy you are as an individual, the more you're going to bring positive energy, the more the other one is going to feed out of this positive energy, and is going to bounce back the positive energy, and is going to do more. Because in a positive mood, when I'm in a positive mood, I want to do more for the other. So really, it all depends on you as yourself, how happy you are. You can be, even if the other one is not, such a happy person, it's like, if you are a source of positive energy constantly, you're going to be able to transform the other from your positive energy. It's a contagious disease, much stronger than COVID. So you should use that. Use that positive energy and let the other. I wish it was as contagious as as COVID, or spread as fast. Unfortunately, we can only make ourselves happy. Nobody else can make us happy. Everything that happens around you, your spouse and all the problems, if you're happy, it's not going to affect you. But now the problem is that we're very selfish people. Everything we care about is, how much good you're going to give me, how I'm going to feel when I'm with you. And very often the other person is also selfish. We're both selfish people, focusing on how I feel when I'm with you, and about what you do, what you didn't do, and we're focused on how I feel, on my pleasure. What if you come home and say, you know what, I'm going to come home, it's all about how she feels. I'm only going to focus on what she feels and how he feels. And the other person, when you see how interested, sometimes it's going to, allow that attention, because we all need that attention, because we don't get it for so many people anyway. And then eventually you're going to reciprocate. Oh, he or she paid so much attention to me, let me pay much more attention to the other. So stop being selfish. We're not children. Start focusing on the other. Let me give, and don't say, oh, he or she doesn't give me, I'm not going to give. This is children. How old are you? Adults don't care. A mature individual don't care about how much you gave me. I'm going to give you 100% of myself, even if you don't give me anything. Because it's not, oh, you did this to me, I'm going to do this to you. How old are you? This is children. You have to grow up. A lot of people, they're children, just 30-year-old children, 40-year-old children. How do you know you're a child? Because you're focused, you're selfish. It's all about how you feel, how you make me feel. Oh, you did this, oh, you did that, oh, you told me this, you talked to me like that. Okay, your ego got a bit hurt, but you're a child now. Or you're going to bypass all that and be a giver and be a true lover, which is give even though you didn't receive anything. You give because of the other person deserves to be given. Not deserve because, she did something or he did something. Deserve because that person chose to marry you, to put up with you. That person committed to work with you, that person has greatness in them. Don't focus on the action, focus on the person itself. You only got married because of the person itself. Don't wait that that person becomes that dream of a person that you wish you have. You can't get married to someone you wish you have or you dream to have. You have to marry to who the person is. And you have to love that person. Doesn't matter if that person never change. You have to love that person. Yeah. We have to love in a way that the other person needs to be loved. The more we're able to focus, he has like, how do you want me to love you? What can I do to love you? The more you're able to understand that, the more that person will change and become who you want them to be. Because if you give based on the other person wasn't going to want to be who you want them to be. But you can't start with that. You have to start with accepting 100% the person and be positive the person as they are now in the present, not as you want them to be in the future. Okay, that's real love. And seeing the greatness of who they are now. So, to go back to our original topic, it's all connected, obviously. We want the other person to... We want to be happy if we want the marriage to be a happy marriage. So, don't blame it on the other. This is like 5,782 years old blaming game. Stop blaming on the other. Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, my wife's this. Like, stop blaming. The only one to blame is you. If it doesn't matter what the person doesn't do. Obviously, there's limits. It's trying to kill you or abuse you. It's different. But we're not talking about that. Be positive. Be the one who gives the energy. Be the giver. Be the greater adult. You're the man. The man needs to initiate, and the woman needs to reciprocate and give back. As a man, you're supposed to be the one. The men are given a unique ability to put the emotions more down and to focus, be more rational. So use that logic. Don't cut your emotions like you also often do, and be positive. Play it out. You come home, say, hey, darling, honey, how are you? So happy to come home. So happy to see you. I'm so lucky I'm married to you. I'm so lucky you chose me. I'm so lucky you gave me a child. And guys, by the way, just the fact that she gave you a child, for you, it was 1 second and it gave you a lot of pleasure. For a woman, it was 9 months of crazy hormonal, psychological craziness, pain, physical pain. 9 months, right? She suffered, and that's just the 9 months. The giving birth is no man wants to be a woman just for that, okay? But that's crazy, difficult, and painful. Then the all afterbirth effect, all the hormonal, all the, the after, I forgot the syndrome, afterbirth syndrome, the sadness, the difficulty, the tiredness, and then you have breastfeed hurt, and it takes energy, and then taking care of the kids, and just the fact that your wife gives you a child and takes care of it, that's already, you owe her everything. You can't complain, Like, you want to complain, go on labor for 9 months. Go get pregnant for 9 months, and we'll talk after that. We forget too quickly how much difficulties the wife went through just because you planted a little seed. For you it was fun. For her it was hell. Okay? For 9 months and more. For 20 years. Take care of the kids. So, but and you're a father. It's like, yeah, you come on the bris milah. Yeah, I'm a father. Thank you, Mazel Tov. You didn't do anything. Your wife did everything. But all the attention is on you. Oh man, yeah, Father, I got a kid. Oh yeah? Well, compared to your wife, you're nothing. Everything, all the compliments should go to your wife, and then to you, for being willingly, having the willingness and the pleasure to give that little seed, for those 5 minutes that you were in bed. So we have to be very grateful to our spouse, especially to our wife. Okay? When you come home, think of that. When you come home, you touch the mezuzah and say, let me realize I'm lucky to have just to have a wife. I'm lucky I have a healthy wife. If tomorrow your wife had cancer, God forbid, will you still complain? Or will you say like, oh, she does that, or she didn't clean the house, or she didn't cook, or she complains? Or all that will go out of the window, because you realize what's truly important is that it's life. That you're a person that's alive and well and healthy, and who loves you and is home and wants to, go with you on this journey. So be positive. Bring the positive energy. You're the guy, bring it up, initiate. This is what is going to change everything. Come home, say, hi, darling, so nice to see you. You're still beautiful like yesterday. And wow, and you prepare food for me. You didn't have to do that. You prepared all that for me on time. Like, sometimes it's not. So you focus on something else. Oh, you took care of the baby the whole day. Wow, thank you. I'm so lucky. What if she tells you, no, the woman says, no, I make a baby, I don't take care of kids. So who's going to take care of it? The greatest thing your child has is that the mom takes care of the kid. If it's not that, oh, you took care of the home. Oh, and if it's not that, oh, you're my wife. You chose me. Just that. It's a gift. How many guys are depressed because they don't have a woman? But you have a woman. And she chose you, despite all your terrible ego and, bad character traits. So you should be happy. And all the challenge she gives you, all the hard work she gives you, it's for your good. God designed her to complain of all your bad stuff. So you work on yourself, so you become a man. So you mature, so that you work on your character traits, because that's why you're here. That's why you're religious. Your wife is the one who makes you truly religious, because your wife is the one who pushes you to work more on your character traits. Being religious is working on your character traits. Is using the Torah and the mitzvahs to become a better person. That's what the religious mean. So your wife is the greatest opportunity to be religious. When you come to heaven, what God is going to ask, right? This is my thing I always ask. When you come to heaven, the first thing God is going to ask is she happy? Or is he happy? Right? But you as a guy, you focus on you. And the woman focuses on herself. You can't wait till the other. It's not, oh, when she's nice with me, I'll be nice. No, that's a kid. You want a man? I'm going to be nice no matter what for the next 20 years. And let's see what happens. Can you do that? Be nice for the next 20 years. Don't be mean. Don't calculate. No competition. Oh, she didn't do this, I'm not going to do that. Oh, she did this, I'm going to do that. You're not a kid. You're an adult. Most adults are still kids. They just look older. And they play with bigger toys. But most marriage are still two kids married. And when they fight all that, there's two kids fighting. We have to grow up and not be the kid we are. We have to say, I know as a kid I was like that. I know I grew up, my parents made me be like that as a kid. You gotta learn to control that. You gotta learn to work with that. So work on being positive. Bring the positive energy. The happiness in the couple depends on you. That's how you have to look at it. If you're positive, the other one is naturally going to be positive. So don't be negative and don't be plain. That's my advice. But you have to be happy yourself. Most people are not happy themselves. Samer bechelko, happy with what you have. Realize that everything you have is designed by God. You're not meant to have more, you're not meant to have less. You are meant to have exactly what you have. Obviously, sometimes we limit ourselves, right, on what we could have. We could technically have more, but that's you only one missing you. And by the way, you want more, make your wife happy. We know the chesed, the parnasa, the bracha in the home depends on how your wife is happy. So some guys, they stay longer at work or to stay away from home because they want to spend more time at home, or they think they're going to make more money by being at work longer, and that's going to give them less money than if they came home earlier to spend more time with their wife, which they fear or resent, or they don't know how to deal with it, don't want to have a headache from the whole day of work. Then God is going to give you less. You want more? Spend more time with your wife. You want more money? You want to be more rich? You want to be more successful? Invest in your marriage. And instead, we invest more in the work because, and we force ourselves to work more than we're supposed to. Because technically we don't have to, because God gives you everything if your wife is happy. Everything you need, not everything you want. And instead we end up just sabotaging ourselves. We're going backward. So we have to make sure that we realize that the bracha of the work, the bracha, how much money you're going to have, it depends on the quality time you spend with your wife. Staying longer at work for money doesn't always bring more happiness and more money. Your wife doesn't want the money. Some wants more, but usually the more money they want means the less they want you. Because they need to replace your lack of being here with the money. So the more you are with her, the less she needs money because she has you. You're more valuable, hopefully. Right? The love isn't love. You cannot buy love. You want to have to pay for her to smile? Then it's going to be very expensive. You have to work more. How much money, how much you work to make her smile? Well, if you're home more and do give her what she needs, the emotional attention, the love that she needs, then she's going to smile for free. You won't have to pay a dime. You won't have to work so hard. But if she's not smiling, you're going to have to work much more for her. You're going to have to pay a lot of money for her to smile. So don't make your marriage into a business. Just be a giver. You're created to be a giver. You're created to give. Just give positive energy for 10 years. Give. Don't expect anything back. Once you give, forget. There's the father from Rav Ben Shetrit, French rabbi, very smart. The father from Rav Ben Shetrit says, once you give, forget about it. Usually, we give and we don't forget about it. And the things that the things that the other one does that we don't like, we forget about it. Not good. Give and forget about it, as if you never gave. And like that, you keep giving. Give. And don't remember anything good or bad that you did and bad that the other person did. Just give. And after 10 years of giving, 10 years, not 1, not 2, 1, 3, 10 years of giving of yourself, you see I can almost swear, I don't swear, but I can almost, promise you 99% chance that person will be changed and become the greatest lover that you wanted. The person is going to start doing everything that you wanted them to do. But you got to give. Give means do what the other wants, do what the other needs. Not everything. Almost everything. There's some things that are childish that the other one wants. You have to discuss, speak, and see if according to the Torah is the right thing. But that's the key, that's the secret. So my friends, become that super powerful soul energy. Your soul is giving, has the energy, has the will to give and to love and to be positive. Don't let your body, your piece of meat, right? That the influence of the external world, the physical world, the pleasure of this world dictate how happy you should be. Just you're alive, you breathe, you're healthy, you should be happy already. Thank you for life. God loves you. God is crazy in love with you. And share that love. You love yourself? Great. Now give to the other. Love the other. Be positive. All right, I think you got the message. Good luck for the next 10 years. Call me in 10 years and tell me how everything end up at the end. All right. Have a great marriage.